not, doing my business, not.
Yeah, you never started it.
Case had disaster and
Okay. November 25th, 2015, 9 a.m., Policy and Procedure Committee. May I know to call the roll, please?
Bill,
Present.
Sure,
Here.
Barron,
Here.
Anderson,
Present. 4, Dale's on his way. He is in the facility. You're good then. We have any public comments today? No public comments. Committee chair reports. Russell, Highway.
Quiet down out the highway. Traditionally, they're working on the spring letting this time of year, but township motor fuel tax money, they're not too sure where it's going to go, so the whole thing's going slow at this point. Other than that, just normal claims.
The wheels of government turn slow, and they turn even slower now. Lyle.
Kind of open the bids for fertilizer for the farm and discuss access to the soccer field.
John.
We'll be taking our normal reports and also getting an update on the hiring of a part-time public defender.
We got something in the mail about that, right? Did you get something in the mail, or did it hand delivered to you?
yeah, it was hand delivered, right, a letter from the Judge Lefstell, and then the guy came in and filled out a W-9, so he's hired. I hate to steal your thunder, but he is hired.
That's fine. Yeah, that's good. We'll still get an update on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to the judge.
To the judge. Dale. Act.
We're going to finalize and send to the county board the levy. Animal control, we're going to talk about adjusting the fee schedule, adjusting the registration procedure, and a CAP program.
Oh.
Good luck. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. As far as health and IT, there's no meeting.
No IT meeting, no.
Health, you know how that went last time, so be a little different this time. Ed's report. Eric.
This month I got in some free FEMA pamphlets about concerning flooding and preparing for disaster. Usually people are most mindful of disasters right after one, and I've been trying to distribute those. I've dropped them off at key points where recent flood victims should be, including Waukega Area Chamber of Commerce, the World Renewed Center when it was set up, and so on and so forth. I sent out thank you letters to numerous individuals and organizations that helped with flood operations. The County Emergency Operations Plan, I sent that in for review for the last Policy and Procedure Committee meeting, and that came back approved. The first time it's been approved, the first time through Dan Smith since Bob Harwood was coordinator.
Say that one more time.
This was the first time that the county EOP was approved the first time through Dan Smith's review since Bob Harwood was coordinator.
Check.
So, and that's just something that needs to be done every 2 years. I'm glad that I was able to do that. For the LAPC, the LAPC has approved a hazardous materials response plan, and that is currently sitting on the state Dan Smith's desk, and he'll tell me what he thinks about it. I had to resubmit the HMEP grant due to restructuring of IEMA. Didn't have to change any money amounts, just had to change some wording. And I had 8 radios reprogrammed. You'll see that expense before you today. Some of the channels were not working correctly and have not. So, had the opportunity, I was able to get this working together. Had a hazmat incident on November 18th. Nothing too large. It was a semi-truck driver that did something while he was driving down on 57 and ended up leaking a bunch of diesel. This was a mile and a half north of Buckley exit, southbound lane. Both the fire department and IDOT worked together by the time I got on scene, and together we coordinated to make sure that we got all the diesel contained, and truck driver's company hired a contractor to come clean it up. So, simple. I hosted a training exercise planning workshop last week. I had very low attendance, but it was still a good discussion amongst the parties that were there. We discussed the exercise and trainings that we want to have over the next 3 years. And if anybody wants to see that, I do have a copy of it in my office. But over the next 3 years, I currently have 10 trainings and 6 exercises that I'd like to participate in or facilitate throughout the county. And these are on a variety of scales from small to large. Cellular signal booster is now operational in my office, so if you have a Verizon phone, it'll work in my dungeon, which is an improvement. Because when a disaster is going on and I'm trying to work out of my office, it's hard for me to get phone calls from anyone. And the long-term recovery committee has been working pretty hard. Wilbur did an unmet needs assessment, and they got that information to us. So people came in or they went door to door, determined what are the things that people need, what are problems after the flood and such. And now we're working through and sifting, determining what is actually needed, and vetting through the cases. And some funds are being distributed. And that's my report. Any questions, concerns?
I think so. Thanks, sir. Chairman comments. The only one I spoke with Larry prior to this with the audit for the health department. I got that all compiled. Left another message for Jim to make sure it's okay to ship that out. I'm sure at some point before 2 Tuesdays from now I'll have a chance to talk with him, but that out on a full board. Appointments. Only one I can think of off the top of my head will be, there's ETSB, depending on who you talk to, there's either 2 or 4 up. That's up for debate. More questions I have to get answered. It depends on who you talk to. You got to read the state law or the county ordinance. For sure there's 2 up, there may be 4 up. To be determined. Correspondence. Got a lot, or not a lot, but there's the Soil and Water District report. Came certified mail, went to Lisa's office first, the quarry.
Oh, yeah.
And they got to send it to her, and I had to get it in the mail, certified mail. That's state law, that had to be done. It cost $8.33. I could have picked it up, but I didn't do that. Sounds like they're adding on to the north, 54 acres. And that's being a lake when they're all done mining it out. Read through that.
This is the Ashton Quarry.
Ashton Quarry, sorry, yeah. Cruise through that. I just got this morning. Looks like our UCCI dues will be paid back to us again. So that's pretty handy. And then I'll pass it on to Anita, but we get a 25% reduction in our dues if we pay before February, so we'll try to get that on the agenda for the January meeting. That's a pretty handy organization. Let that stuff go through for a minute. Anybody else have any correspondence? Get a claims list. Pay 15, you're gonna get 15.
Move to approve the claims.
Got a motion on the floor to approve. So, as the claims, is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any questions on the 4 claims we have in front of us? Seeing none. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Bill,
Yes.
Sure,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. carries 5-0. We'll have this stuff, leave all this stuff in Mana's office, and anyone wants to read up on what they're gonna do with the quarry, they're gonna make it bigger. So, it's not, I don't know what else to tell you. They're gonna have, it looks like they're gonna hire, they didn't, I don't know if they said how many people. They don't want to pay just
6.
6 people while they're doing the job. Additional people, it sounded like.
They claim 6 anyway.
Yeah. What they're telling the state. Again, I think it's kind of like that landfill papers we get. I don't really know that there's a lot we can do, but they're telling you, here's what we're going to do in your county. And the old business, come before the Policy and Procedure Committee. And the new business. Yep.
On your appointment part, I'm going to have 4 for sure to be reappointed to the zoning board of appeals.
Okay.
I got a contact, there was one member when our meeting last night, there was one member not there tonight, so I didn't get to ask him if he wants to stay on, so I'll get a hold of him. He'll probably be at least 5. And then, I was at IACO yesterday in Peoria, and scuttlebutt in the rooms where nothing will be done at minimum before until after the first year. And 2 big things that will probably happen will be some sort of a tax cap in conjunction with the raising of the income tax back to where it was at a minimum. And everything else is, nobody has a clue, and nobody knows. But that was the 2 big things that were probably, and probably be a push again after the first year to do something legislatively about township government in some form or another.
About what?
Township government.
Lieutenant Governor has a task force going right now, and she's been going around and compiling information. And some of her her proposals look pretty similar to what happened in Indiana. So, nothing obviously concrete on that, but I would assume after the first year, some of that might start being, the numbers might be talked about specifically about what they want to do.
Your ZBA appointment, then bring them to the zoning committee, have them by then, get on Friday afternoon.
Yep. And then, yeah, there's a rezoning, we had a rezoning hearing last night that was approved, and that goes to the zoning committee on next Friday. That's it.
Any other business? Saying none? Or Russell, you got some new business or whole
No.
business? Any business?
Go back to that quarry conversation.
Gotcha.
Since they're pulling minerals out of the ground that I'm sure the Illinois EPA, the feds, and there's a whole bunch of different people are touching, do they have to pay a tax to them, to the state, on amount of stone coming out of the ground or something like that? I'm just looking maybe a potential opportunity to pick up a couple cents here and there in income. And that might be why we get it by certified mail. Just an idea. Don't look for no comment on it at this point.
Okay.
Potential revenue source.
I think mining is considered similar to manufacturing. So unless they have a special tax on it, I doubt it. And most of it goes for farm use, and well, some goes for road.
You're gonna put a sales, they got a sales tax on it when you buy it there, when you buy it out of the quarry. When you're gonna tax it, when they're taking, tax them when they're taking it out of the ground, is that what you're getting at?
Well, sales tax to some folks.
Yeah,
Most
yeah,
of-
this is true.
Yeah, most of coming out is going to
Yeah.
local government,
Yeah.
so.
A big chunk.
Yeah. Just a thought.
Property tax.
Nice lake afterwards, recreational.
Yeah, about, let's say 25-acre lake when
Mhm.
it's all done.
Yeah, maybe get more than a 99 motor out there.
Any other new business?